Little Johnny's teacher was warned at the beginning of the school year never to make a bet with Johnny unless she was absolutely sure she could win it. One day in class, Johnny raised his hand and says, "Teacher, I'll bet you $50 I can guess what color your underpants are." She says, "All right, meet me after class. We'll settle it once and for all." But before class ended, she went into the restroom and removed her underpants. Well, after class is over and the students clear out, Johnny makes his guess. "I'm gonna say blue." "No, you got it wrong," and she shows him she wasn't wearing any. "All right," he says, "well, come with me out to my dad's car, and he's waiting for me, and I'll get you the money." So she follows him out to the parking lot, and when they get to the car, she informs his dad that he got the bet wrong and that she showed Johnny she wasn't wearing any at all. His dad says, "Damn it again. He bet me $100 this morning he'd see your butt before the end of the day." Little Johnny and his mom were playing in the backyard when, out of nowhere, little Johnny says, "Hey, Mommy, where do babies come from?" His mom's been worried about this day for a while and wasn't quite sure how to go about explaining the birds and the bees. So she decided to keep it simple and said, "Well, Johnny, the stork brings the baby into the world." Little Johnny looked at his mom with a puzzled look on his face and tried to figure it out. Finally, after much thought and a long pause, he says, "Well, who bangs the stork?" One school day, the teacher decided that in science class they would teach about the elements. So she stood in front of the class and said, "All right, children, if you could have one raw element in the world, what would it be?" Well, little Stevie raised his hand and said, "I'd want gold, because gold is worth a lot of money and I could buy a Porsche." The teacher nodded and called on little Susie. Well, Susie said, "I'd want platinum, because platinum's worth more than gold. I could buy a Corvette." And the teacher smiled and called on little Johnny. Well, little Johnny stood up and said, "I'd want silicone." Teacher says, "Why, little Johnny?" And he says, "'Cause my mom's got 2 bags of it. You should see all the sports cars the guys bring around our house." The teacher in class says we're going to do vocabulary today. Who can use the word definitely in a sentence? Mary raised her hand and says, "Me, I can." The teacher says, "All right, go ahead. What's the sentence?" Mary says, "The sky is definitely blue." "Well, that's good, Mary," said the teacher, "but the sky can also be gray or white." Well, little Sam raises his hand and says, "Grass is definitely green." The teacher says, "That's good, Sam, but grass can be brown too." Little Johnny raises his hand and says, "Hey, Teach, do farts have lumps in 'em?" Teacher says, "No, Johnny." "Why would you ask that?" Well, Johnny says, "Well, I definitely just crapped my pants." Little Johnny had a little sister, and she was about to celebrate her birthday. Wise little Johnny told his sister to ask for a G.I. Joe for a gift so he could have something to play with too. So, a day before the party, Johnny's mom asked his sister what she wanted for her birthday. Well, she says, "I want a Barbie doll, Mom." Well, she noticed little Johnny was standing behind her mom, threatening her with a clenched fist. So she quickly said, "And a G.I. Joe, too." Well, Johnny's mom looked surprised and said, "But, honey, Barbie comes with Ken, not G.I. Joe." To which Johnny quickly interrupts, "No, Mom, Barbie fakes it with Ken. Believe me, she comes with G.I. Joe." A teacher asks her class, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Little Johnny says, "I want to be a billionaire. I'm going to be going to the most expensive clubs in the world, take the best girl with me, give her a Ferrari worth $1 million, an apartment in Hawaii, a mansion in Paris, a jet to travel all throughout Europe, and an infinite Visa card. Also, I'll take care of her at least 3 times a day." The teacher was pretty shocked and tried to calm down the rest of the class and decided to call on the quiet girl in the back of class. "And you, Susie?" the teacher says. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Susie says, "Honestly, ma'am, screw college. My full focus is now bagging little Johnny." Little Johnny wanted to go to the zoo and pestered his parents for days. Finally, his mother talked his reluctant father into taking him. "So, how was it?" his mother said when they got home. "Great," little Johnny said. "Did you and Daddy have a good time?" "Oh, yeah. Daddy liked it too. He drank all kinds of beer, and I learned how to bet." His mom says, "Bet? What kind of zoo did he take you to?" "I don't know," said little Johnny, "but all the horses run in a circle real fast, and one of them was called a long shot. I won $100." In school, the students were learning about gardening tools. Little Johnny, Jennifer, and Daniel raised their hand when the teacher held up a picture. She called on Jennifer, and Jennifer says, "Well, that, ma'am, is a shovel." And the teacher said, "Very good, Jennifer." And the teacher then held up another picture, and she called on Daniel. Daniel says, "That there is an axe." "Well, very good, Daniel." The teacher held up another picture, and this time little Johnny was the only one raising his hand, so she had to call on him. Little Johnny says, "Well, that's a rake." "No," said the teacher, "I'm sorry. That's actually called a hoe." Well, little Johnny was kind of upset and said, "That's not a hoe. My sister's a hoe. She doesn't look anything like that." Little Johnny was in the grocery store with his mother. After the shopping was done, they were in line for the checkout. Well, in front of them was a woman and her two children. Little Johnny, never one to shy away from a conversation, started to talk to the lady. "Shopping, huh?" he said. "Yep," said the woman. "You always bring your kids with you?" The woman says, "Yeah, they usually come with me." So little Johnny asked, "Are they your kids?" "Well, they are," said the woman. "Both of them?" asked little Johnny. "Well, of course they're both mine. Why would you ask something like that?" "Well, I guess I was just surprised somebody would actually bang you twice." Hello, friends, it's your old buddy Eddie here. Let me know which one of these jokes was your favorite in the comments down below. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.